Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with another one of my Endgame reviews. This time, and I apologize for my voice, it's still in the grip of a cold. But this time we're reviewing Megaman Battle Network 1, the original one, the one that kickstarted the whole season. Now, a lot of people have some resistance to the Battle Network series because it's a very weird thing for Mega Man if you really stop and think about it. I mean, it's not a platformer of any kind, which is most of the Mega Man games have at least some platforming element. Like even Legends had some platforming, even though it was more of an RPG. And this was more of a traditional RPG kind of a thing. Well, maybe not traditional, but still. On top of that, Mega Man wasn't a robot, he was a computer program. So, yeah, I mean, it has all the old faces. Mega Man, Cut Man, Guts Man, Roll, Proto Man. But in this completely new setting. And this is the game that started that whole universe, which would go on for 6 main games and 2 tie-ins, plus a bunch of stuff that's only ever been released in Japan. But I'm a huge fan of this series. It's a lot of fun. My first Battle Network game was 3, because that was the game that was new at the time, So that was what they had at my local GameStop, and that's what I played. This, I think, was a while before GameFly had come about, or at least before I'd gotten GameFly. So the idea of renting Game Boy Advance games was still kind of a foreign concept to me. But I do own this game, I don't own this game, I own Battle Network 3, and I will be using my cartridge for the Let's Play when it comes around. But, as I explained in the very last episode of Battle Network, this game isn't so much an alternate reality as it is a what if, I mean, obviously it's an alternate reality, it's its own universe, but it's also very much a what if. Because in the old Mega Man games, the original Nintendo platformers, the story was Dr. Light and his assistant, Dr. Wily, created these robots that were living, breathing, feeling machines, And Dr. Wily, for whatever reason, usually jealousy, stole Dr. Light's robots, reprogrammed them for evil, and tried to conquer the world, so Dr. Light took his 2 housekeeping robots and made one of them into a warrior to fight Dr. Wily. Well, this is the what if Dr. Light, instead of making robots, had designed the internet as we know it, or as they know it. And Dr. Wily, as a result, lost his funding for robots. So instead, he became bitter, learned everything he could about the robots or about the net nabbies, put together his own criminal organization, and set out to destroy the world just to spite Dr. Hikari, the grandfather. And I think it's a pretty interesting story. I think it's a nice new twist on an old favorite. I like most of how the new net nabbies look, or the new robot masters. Gutsman looks classic. Gutsman's pretty good. Electman is interesting. Heatman looks pretty cool. Fireman, pretty much. Iceman looks the same. Some of them I'm not a fan of at all. Like if you see Network Transmission, the next game, Brightman looks freaking weird. He's a bizarre looking thing. And so on and so forth. But it's a pretty good series. It's very easy to get into. Even now, part of me knows I should wait for my new controllers to get in here for the PC, But part of me is just so into this series right now, I just want to dive right into the next game and start recording right away, But I promise you, this game has an amazing story, if a little simplified. I mean, it's mostly a kid's game, I think. Or at least that's how it's marketed here in the States. The anime is pretty good. I mean, it's not top quality A-material stuff, but it's a good show, I will be doing the entire series, and yes, that does now include Battle Chip Challenge, so that I don't think that'll have its own day. I think that'll air alongside another video, you know? But I'm going to be doing, I've already done this, I've already finished Network Transmission. I'm going to do 2, I'm going to do 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to do 6. And then I'm going to do the Star Force games, which I have never played 2 of them, and one of them I've only played up to like the second boss. So that's very much a blind run for me. But I will be doing my best to get as much stuff as I can in these things, because, you know, just... Mega Man Battle Network 4 in particular will be a doozy, because I'm going to be showing off all of the side paths, which means, yes, I will be beating the game 3 times. Only once on camera, no worries there. But I will record everything, and then when it comes time, like, for example, 4 is divided into several tournaments, and each tournament has, like, 3 rounds or so. But I'm going to be showing, like, these are all the possibilities for round 1. You know, I'm going to show the one for my first playthrough, and then show the other playthroughs. Likewise, the same thing for rounds 2, 3, whatever, you know, tournaments 2 and 3. I'm going to show everything off, and I might even show off the stuff from the other game, or at least the storylines from the other game. Because Battle Networks 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all dual games. But I make no promises on the other games, but it's a very big possibility that will happen, you know? It's something I want to do, because I've only ever played the versions that I'm going to be playing for the main Let's Play. Let's see. There's so much to say, and most of it I should save for the other games. So I will. We're going to get to the ratings now. Graphics, graphics are good. They're not fantastic, but they're not horrible, so I'm going to give those a 3. 3 out of 5. Sound, while the sound is good, it's repetitive from game to game. This is the first game, so it gets a pass on a 3. But the music, as nice as it is, will get old. You will get very sick of it. But since this is the first game, I'm going to go easy on it because it hasn't had time to wear its welcome out yet. But a little word of advice, the music really doesn't change much from game to game. It's pretty much the same soundtrack, or at least it is to my untrained ear. Okay. Difficulty. This is not that difficult a game. I'd give it a 3. You know? Gameplay. Gameplay is very interesting. I'm going to give gameplay a 4 on this. With a little addition that, unlike the other Battle Network games, this is... Hold on, I'll get to that in a minute, but story. Story I'm giving a 5. I think it's a wonderful little what-if tale, you know? So, by the numbers, this game rates a solid 3 out of 5, which is very average, but it's still a good game. I'd give it maybe a 3.5 out of 5 myself. But the thing I was trying to describe is the fact that this game has a lot of things about it that are bad to me, because they're things that the Mega Man Battle Network series will improve upon, like, the program advances in this one suck. Like, I was so excited to show off sword, wide sword, long sword for the life sword thing, only to find out that in this it just lets me use the sword over and over again, which is stupid. The program advances get better, the interface gets a little better, although this game and the second one have something the other games don't, which is a complete lack of backtracking. I'll do a lot of backtracking in 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., you know, and a lot of parts where the game just stops, like, oh, well, I want Battle Chip Flame E, and if you don't get me Flame E, you're not getting this thing that you need for the story. What about Flame C? No, I need Flame E, so go find it. And then you spend an hour and a half looking for Flame E, you know? That's something this game and its sequel don't really have, and that's a wonderful thing. So, Battle Network. My verdict? It's a good game. It's better than my ratings would have you believe. Um, if you're gonna play it first, because the other games in Battle Network get exponentially better. They're all better than the first one. That's not to say the first one is a bad game, but for example, the second game introduces the style change system, which is much awesome that I will be showing off. Third plays on that, adds a few more. Fourth introduces the double soul system, which is amazing. It's even better than Styles. 5 brings out the net reclamation missions, which are incredible. And 6, oh, there's so much awesome about 6, I can't even tell you. So, I'm Kyrix, and this is my Endgame review for Megaman Battle Network 1. Go out and buy it if you can, and if you can't, well, hell, I played it on an emulator. I can't really tell you not to, right? So, see you next week for our network transmission. Bye-bye.